are going right now to Plateau State, which is usually called the home of peace and tourism. But we do know that in recent times, that title seems to be something that is on paper. Not because Plateau State is not a home of peace, but because peace seems to be eluding it with the security challenges that it has been facing in recent times. It's been on for a while, but sometimes it gets a bit intense and it calms down again. But Plateau State, we do know, continues to remain one of the most gifted states in Nigeria, and not just in terms of its human resources, but also in terms of the resources embedded in the state. Anyone who visits Plateau State will know that that state has been blessed. And you sometimes wonder, who are those who are trying to curse what it is that the Almighty has blessed? Well, somebody is here and he says he wants to be he thinks that he can turn around the fortunes of Plateau State if he is also given a chance to govern. Our guest this morning is Chief Kephas Gov'ship, who is the PDP 2027 governorship candidate for Plateau State. Good morning and welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Good morning, Maope. Good morning, Aya. Good morning, Nigerians. And good morning, my Platonians.
It is good to see you in our studios. You are a son of the Plateau, and there are quite a number of questions to ask you. The first is that you are running on the platform. You're the PDP governorship candidate. The questions as to, that's a very bold one, in the sense that we also know the problems, the challenges that are bedeviling your party at the moment. We see that it is factionalized. So how confident are you that the matters will be resolved in the favor of the part or the faction that you belong to?
Okay, like I said again, good morning, Nigerians. The truth is this, the question I think is about the constitutional issue as far as I'm concerned. And there are legal judgments that have settled all of that, by my own understanding. And so I don't think it's an issue, because for now, the court and INEC have duly recognized the Abdurrahman PDP faction. But you see, what I keep telling people is simple. As far as I'm concerned, the day of the election, there's no individual's name that's going to be on the ballot. What is going to be on the ballot is PDP. And at the end of the day, the judgment and decision of the court is what is going to prevail. So for now, according to the Constitution, or by the Constitution, I think a judgment has been passed just like 2 weeks ago, and the mandate so far, for now, is in the hand of the Abdurrahman late faction. So we are comfortable, and that is where I am for now.
Okay, so because some people say that's what has led to the defection of the governors from your party. Quite a number of governors defected, even those who would ordinarily not have defected. We have elections coming up in Osun State in a few days, and even the governor there, who was elected on the platform of the PDP, defected to their core party, hoping to be able to make it. You don't think that all of these defections also add to the uncertainty beclouding your party?
If I want to be very sincere, of course there are a lot of uncertainties, and I think for the governor of Osun State, I think as at the time he defected was the peak of the issue, right, or the peak of the crisis rather. And I don't want to fault his decision, but I think strongly that every politician just want to be on the ballot. But again, for some of us that believed in the party, we just believe that we should stay. We should be steadfast, because if we are running from issues in the political parties that are meant to be solved by the people in the party, then who is meant to remain in the party? And so for me, I think for most of the people that have defected is for their own personal and selfish interest, if I might say. But for some of us, we believe, like when the crisis was deep, I went around telling some of my party people, because as at that time, I think I was one of the only major stakeholder in the party that refused to defect. If you can remember, the governor defected sometime in January, right? But the moves for the governor to defect started, I think, sometime from November to December. The rumor was out there. But I told people, I said, for some of us, we believe strongly, especially the Plateau people, that Plateau is PDP and PDP is Plateau. PDP is like a religion on the Plateau. And that's the truth. And the governor got his mandate on the platform of the PDP. And so we believe strongly that some of us were part of the mandate that he got, because I contested with him in 2000 and the last election anyway.
2023.
Yeah, 2023, and I came second. But
in the primaries?
In the primaries, yes. So in the primaries, and we were there, we stayed, we never left, even with the fact that, of course, some of us have reasons to have gone to court, but I believe in the party. I never went to court after the primaries, because I believe strongly that if destiny or God wanted me to be there, somehow I would have been there. Mm-hmm. But all I did was just support the governor, and I didn't be here much. And so we believe strongly that the mandates given was the people's mandate. And so some of us said then we faulted his movement because there was no proper consultation. His movement is entirely his personal opinion, right? And so we expect that if you are in a political party, if a decision like that is meant to be taken, all of the stakeholders should be called, discussed, and reasons should be given, so that you can equally at the same time hear or listen to other either descending or more better opinion, right, for you to have moved or not to move. But again, like I said, it's his personal opinion.
Candidates lost their seat. I do remember it was in Plateau State. I can't remember what exactly the issue was, but I think it was also party related, where candidates elected on the platform of your party lost their seats. Those who were elected to the House of Reps and even Senate lost their seats as a result of some party dispute, or some dispute that affected the political party. The only reason why the governor was spared was because the Electoral Act allowed him to get up to the Supreme Court. For the rest of them whose cases stopped at the Court of Appeal, they all lost their seats. So do you think that this is a risk that is worthwhile taking?
Like I've always said to people, I'm into politics not because of my personal self, trust me. For anybody that knows me knows I'm a private sector individual that have developed myself over time. And so I went into the politics because I want to see what value we can add in the political terrain.
Yeah, so let me quickly add this. I know you said it's not personal to you, but do you think that that is a risk that the people of Plateau will be willing to take with you? Because if the first time they gave their mandate to your political party, the People's Democratic Party, and their mandate somehow was subverted by a court ruling, some technicalities or some legalese, let me put it that way, and somehow their mandate went to somebody else, not by their choice, do you think that this is a risk that they want to take again, with the knowledge that all is not exactly well with the platform you're standing on?
Very important question, but I think strongly again that, like I said, everything is a constitutional issue here that we're talking about. Mm-hmm. And for so far, the judgment has been passed, and it's in favor of the Abdurrahman-led ESCO. So I think that settles it. For the risks, if I am going to be in a political party to take risks for the people, I'm willing to do so. Mm-hmm. But I don't see it as a risk, because already, like I said, it's a legal issue that has been settled, and so we're good to go as far as I'm concerned. Now, like you rightly mentioned, it's unfortunate that the other people lost their seats, mm-hmm. but again, at the end of the day, the issue again was still resolved legally, and that is why the governor is still there. So we believe in justice, and we believe, in fact, what is the major crux of the issue as far as PDP is concerned today is about the convention in Ibadan and the one that was held here in Abuja. And so it is explicit that the Ibadan convention has been null and void. So it's just common sense that, of course, the other convention that was held here, there was no any negative legal judgment about it. So I think we're good to go. Mm-hmm. And like I said to you, the most important thing in this discussion should be that, will PDP be on the ballot? Yes, if PDP is going to be on the ballot, then we are good to go. Now, I have had some levels of discussion with a lot of the people in the party. Even like on the Plateau today, we have both the Abdurrahman-led faction and the Turaki-led faction. Mm-hmm. Now, I believe strongly that we all need ourselves. And so I have reached out to the both sides to discuss that this issue, as far as we're concerned, is a national issue that has nothing really to do with some of us.
Are you the sole candidate between the two?
No, I'm not. It's another candidate. And I've reached out to him. Well, we're in discussion. And what I told him was simple. I told him, I said, we're in court. I think we should all work together for the betterment of the party, because the whole goal and aim for everybody is that PDP should be in the ballot and the right candidate should come and lead Plateau. And so, if at the end of the day, the judgment in any of the courts is in favor of him, then I will join hands with other people to work for him, because it's all for the benefit of the party. If it comes to me, it depends on his own mindset. If he's ready with his team to work with us, fine and good. But the most important thing I want you to understand here is this. The people, the voters, are not really concerned about this party tussle. They are concerned about PDP being on the ballot. And at the end of the day, they are going to come out and vote for PDP.
So has your name been uploaded then?
Yes, my name has been uploaded because, of course, like you know, it's a common knowledge that the Abdurrahman-led faction is the one that INEC is recognizing and has recognized, and everybody, as far as the Abdurrahman faction is concerned, has been uploaded, and we're the ones that are on the platform of the INEC, and so we're good to go.
All right, so let's talk about the things that you are bringing to the people of Plateau. You are running on the platform of a Plateau First movement. I don't know, I don't know whether to say that it's a reminiscent of Donald Trump. Are you a fan of Donald Trump?
I'm not a fan of Donald Trump.
I'm just wondering, because we've seen this before, America first. Maybe everybody should just say their country first, their state first, but you are running on the platform of the Plateau First. That's your hashtag, Plateau First. And you're also saying to the people of Plateau State that you will only be running for a term, which means that there is some arrangement between the people of, perhaps between the different senatorial constituencies.
Exactly.
The current governor and yourself from the same constituency, and you're saying you only do one term rather. That's 4 years. Why should I believe you?
Okay. Like you asked first, why Plateau First? For me, I put Plateau first before my personal self and personal ambition, right? And the reason I am into politics is not because of my personal self, but because of the people. Now, like I said, last election I contested and I came second in the primaries, but to prove to the people that yes, my ambition, it's not about myself and it's not a do or die, and I allowed the process to move freely without going to court. After that, truth be told, the Donald Trump America First, I don't know when it started, but for me, even the last election, that was my mantra, Plateau First, because that has been what is in my mind. And like I said, I'm a humanitarian. For everybody on the Plateau knows that I'm a humanitarian. I've done a lot of humanitarian activities that I can say boldly, by the grace of God. I don't think anybody on the Plateau has done what I've done for humanity. But again, doing all of that, I never envisaged I was going to go into politics. I was doing that as a responsibility that God has placed in my heart to do. And so that was even the reason, that was what gave me the drive to go into politics, because I discovered that no matter how much I want to reach out to the people, using my personal funds, based on the little resources that I was getting, it's not enough to reach out, because I can tell you, I've gone almost every place as far as Plateau is concerned. There are serious needs and the people are going through a lot. And so that's the reason, and since then, that was when that thought came to my mind about Plateau First. And for me, generally, governance and living itself has to do with that humanity in someone, because that is the only reason you can get it right. If you have humanity in you, you will not think of embezzling government funds. If you have humanity in you, you will think of the people before anything. And those are the drives that pushed me to want to contest for election. And like I said, because it's not personal, the last time I didn't go to court because for me, when the right time comes, if God wishes or wants me to be there, I'm going to be there. So even in this now that I'm out, I told my people, my team, and my supporters, I want my politics to be issue-based and not personal attacks and not anything that has to do with any of such things. I want to discuss issues, and in those issues, if Plateau people believe in me, even based on my past antecedent, it is left for them to take the right decision, whether to continue with what they are saying today or to give me the opportunity and the mandate. Now, you asked a very important question. How or why do the people believe?
Why should they
believe in me? Now, I know very well and I believe strongly on the rotation system of government as far as Plateau is concerned. And if you go down the history, I think in 2019, no, not 2019, sorry, during the period that our former governor Lalong contested, there was an incumbent government which one of the stakeholders, our father Babajang, right, was the governor. And of course, in going to the next election, he brought someone again from his zone to contest. And that does not or did not resonate well with the people of Plateau State, and they took their decisions. And so I know the mindset of the people, and I'm keen into the mindset because I know that if I'm coming to do anything to the contrary, a normal Plateau man. Now, the Plateau person is the most conscientized person in terms of politics as far as Nigeria is concerned. They don't vote for anybody because of money. They vote based on the conscience and the realities on ground. And so, for me, if I don't key into that and I'm thinking of being greedy at my personal self and I want to push for second tenure, of deceiving myself, I've had different discussions with a lot of people on this, and I told most of the stakeholders, I said, listen, I have a mindset of 110, and I intend, by the grace of God, to work 8 years in 4 years, if the opportunity is given to me. Reason being that, like I said, Plateau people are very conscientized electorate, and so they decide what they want. But again, if you work for 4 years and you've proven yourself, you don't have to request for another 4 years. It is the people that will decide whether you're going to come or not. And so, again, I have kids. My son, it's somebody too that is very ambitious. As I'm speaking to you now, I think there's an American school in just called Hillcrest. He's the student union president of the school. He equally have ambition. I don't think about myself. I think about him. If I relate in the present political agreement of the Plateau people, it's going to affect him. And like I keep telling myself now, this rotational system, before it goes back to the zone that I am, is going to take another 20 years if I don't make a mistake. Now, as at another 20 years, I will be 70 by the grace of God. That's if I'm alive. And so what now becomes of my son with his ambition if I decide to go contrary to what is happening today? So I've made up my mind already that my tenure is not going to go beyond 4 years. And I keep telling people too that the reason I am contesting for this governorship now is not because I had planned to contest this time around. My plan was to contest for Senate ab initio for this year because, of course, me and the governor used to be on the same platform of the PDP before he left for APC. And so, there was a vacuum, and of course, as a political party, we cannot just leave that vacuum because someone has left, and so someone has to be there. Okay. And that is why I decided to go for the governorship. Apart from that, because of the numerous things that I've seen, right, as far as governance is concerned, I tell people clearly, historically, everybody that have governed Plateau State have been coming from one particular background, the public sector background. I think I'm the only private sector background that have shown his face very boldly that want to contest for election, because I believe strongly that there are lots and lots of loopholes in governance, and I believe that governance should be driven like business for the for the benefit of the Plateau people.
All right, I'm sure Ayo has questions for you. Ayo, over to you.
Thank you, Malkwe. Politics will determine a lot of things as far as this this whole conversation is concerned. So I'm wondering, Mr. Gov'ship, if I mean, you have made it clear, you know, the platform, the political platform, the wing of the PDP that you're in, do you think that the issue is fully resolved, done and dusted? Because there are those who would wonder, just as you said, it's only the political party's logo that is going to be on the ballot, not the individuals. Yes, and at the end of the day, should there be an election and should the PDP win, for instance, the likelihood of you just collecting the certificate without resolving the issues now might be an issue. I think something similar to what we're talking about here now happened in Rivers State some time back. Well, so how, in your opinion, do you think the resolution, the peace resolution, is going or should be settled once and for all, so that there is no confusion at the end of the day?
Okay, you see, at this point, I believe strongly that a lot of legal issues have been coming and have come and gone, right? And so the recent one is the judgment that was given from the Federal High Court. I think that explains everything, and I believe strongly that the PDP issue is being done and dusted. Looking at the last judgment, you can see explicitly that I think part of the grounds that the Turaki-led faction went to court was for the courts, according to them, to enforce the judgment. Now, we keep missing the point about the judgment. You know, for some of us, the judgment is simply about the Ibadan Convention, and so that says it all. So there's no court that's going to repeat the issue of the convention. But again, what they're holding on to is the decision of the BOT to bring a caretaker committee, which, to start with, I think they made a mistake by bringing the same people that were elected in Ibadan to come and be caretaker committees. Now, if you are trying to resolve
those issues, my sincere apologies. I mean, those issues you've already spoken about it, decisively. I just wanted to be sure that there is clarity in the party as to who are the authentic INEC recognized candidates, especially since you've said the other time that there's someone else who is contesting for the same seat as you are in Plateau State. One other issue that is similar is that there is a faction of the PDP calling for former President Goodluck Jonathan to contest again, on bearing the ticket of the PDP. Is your party in any way or by any chance confirming? Are you confirming that, or is it something that is not part of your own faction of the PDP? And what are your thoughts on the idea?
Like all of us know, the person that's been pushed forward to contest for presidency have not responded. He has neither said whether he's contesting or not. But again, that aside, that is not what I'm talking about. Like I said, even if he wants to contest or not, the legality of that has not been ascertained. What we are talking about today is the fact that, the recognized PDP faction is the Abdurrahman-led faction, right? And I hate to call it faction because I believe that PDP are one and PDP should be one. And so, what I advise even the Turaki-led faction is reconciliation. How do we now all come together to work for the benefit of the party? If genuinely they are working for the interest of the party, then this distraction is not needed. And that's the truth. Now, this used to be a very big family that was working together, or that used to be together. What I don't like is, it seems, is a personal interest that is being played out and not the interest of the party or the interest of the people. Now, we should put the people first before any political crisis, and that is my own mindset. And that's the reason why I was able to reach out to the other faction. They didn't reach out to me. I reached out to them because I believe strongly that if we work together, if genuinely the whole interest is about the people, then everyone should put his personal difference aside and work for the interest of the party. Because like I said, it is the party that is going to be on the ballot and not any individual. So the whole goal, it should be about winning the next election and not about personal selves.
Can you give us three measurable things, three things that the people of Plateau State can see and measure that you intend to achieve in the 4 years that you will serve should you be elected?
Fantastic.
You can do that in a minute or two.
Yeah, sure. But like I said, my mantra is Plateau first. And so the reason for Plateau first is because I'm thinking of the people first. Secondly, security of the state. Thirdly, the economy of the state. And fourthly, and most importantly for me again, the unity of the state.
Let's take security. What do you intend to do differently that is not being done now?
What I intend to do differently is about smart security. I call it smart security because the world is going digital. You cannot fight the normal crisis that we're going through now without technology, right? The truth is this: we intend to have a control and command center that will oversee all the borders and the nooks and crannies of Plateau.
To the best of your knowledge, that is not being done at the moment?
To the best of my knowledge, that is not being done. And I wanted using this opportunity strongly to call out. If you remember, the last time the president was on the Plateau, he landed at the airport and never got into town, right? But again, he made some certain promises for the people of Plateau State. If I remember very vividly, he spoke to the Minister of Communication then, Bosu, and gave him a directive, right, to have cameras around Plateau State and its environs. Now the question is, what has happened since after that, right? And so we believe strongly that the government should be accountable and responsible for any promises made to the people. So I am calling on the state government, not with any bias or political reasons, that Plateau people need to know that after that pronouncement, what happened? Have they gone to the president to demand for these cameras? When are they going to be deployed? The people of Plateau needs to know. And who is going to be in charge of the command and control? Now, if the federal government is giving those cameras, is it going to be controlled by the federal government, or the control and command center is going to be on the Plateau? Because the Plateau people need to take the ownership of the security of the state. So what is happening? Why haven't these cameras been deployed? Now, is it that the president failed to? Is it that the president failed in his promise, or it is the follow-up system that is a problem? We need to know, because the Plateau people need accountability in things like that, and they need feedback every time any promise is being given. So, but again, I think that solely was the president being human in trying to put that. But again, all these are equally meant to be the responsibility of the state government. Now, if you look at what is happening in Enugu State, the command and control center in Enugu State is one of the best that we think that outside Plateau State, every state government should equally adapt. Because in doing that, if neighboring states too are doing what the government is doing, it then means that there's going to be even border control and security checks among all the neighboring states.
So you intend to deliver a smart security system that focuses very strongly on command and control?
Not just the smart security system, we need to equally have men on ground that will equally do the groundwork. And that's the truth. And so when it comes to that too, you see, one of the major problems we're having is the issue of the welfare of the security personnel that operate in different states. But let me stick to my state. The welfare of the security of the state needs to be taken into serious consideration. And apart from that, operational equipment like vehicles and should be given or supporting those security agencies. Now, I've had different meetings with most of them, and I realize that there are lots and lots of lapses. Now, I am not here to talk negatively about anybody, but I'm here to discuss my state, Plateau. And all of the criticisms that we're doing is so that the government can sit upright and do what is right. I tell people that I'm not in this contest because I want to battle anybody. I'm here because I want to provide a solution that I think strongly is not on ground.
Well, I do know that we'll be catching up with you and some of the other solutions that you intend to provide the people of Plateau when campaigns kick off properly. We have to thank you very much for speaking with us this morning. Chief Cleophas Gov'ship is the PDP 2027 governorship candidate for Plateau State that has been recognized by INEC because his name has been uploaded on the system. We have to thank you for speaking with us and wish you all the very best.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, the time is not enough. I thought we were going to be discussing a lot of things about what Plateau stand to benefit.
We will catch up with you another time. Thank you so much for speaking with us this morning.
Thank you very much for having me on my way.
We'll take a break, a very short break, and we'll be back to discuss other matters when we come back. To stay with us.